to the official week 4 of the Keto Powerlifting prep. So now that I'm 4 weeks into this prep, I've had a lot of focus points brought to my attention, and I've been trying to implement and learn as the intensity has been a little bit lower. So as you can see, I'm back at work, so sleep is going to take a hit, but I like to focus on what I can control, so I'm not too worried about that. But I do actually like the routine of work, as sad as that is to say. I have a pretty set routine, and I generally perform quite well in the gym. So on to that. For squats this week, the last 4 weeks we've been focusing on the breathing, the bracing, the driving of the thighs out to keep the knees over the toes and increase that hip stability, and then also the pulling of the bar down onto my back to keep that upper body stability. So we're going to focus on those again this week, but one more focus point that's been added to the routine is I'm actually loosening the belt a notch, and I'm going to breathe deeper into the belly. Now what this will do is create internal stability as opposed to passive stability from a tight belt. So if I can have more internal stability, that's going to help to keep that trunk stable, so as the weight increases I should be able to keep that form solid. So that's the focus for squats this week. Now onto the bench press. The bench press has probably been my hardest lift to take on all these focus points. Once again, focusing on the breathing, the bracing, the body positioning, the feet positioning, and the setup. And then last week, the bar travel path. So last week it wasn't that great, as I let a couple of those points slip as I was mainly focusing on the bar travel path. And generally, as the bench press is my weakest move, I struggle a little bit when it comes to some of the heavier sort of lifts. So this week we're just going to focus on all those things and try and tie them in together, and hopefully I can get that form back on point. Now the deadlift, the last 4 weeks it's been breathing, bracing, setup. It's been neutral spine and head positioning, as well as hip hinging, and then also bar travel path, trying to keep that bar as close to the shins and body as possible. So we're going to focus on them again, but also this week I want to look at pulling the slack out of the bar prior to the lift. So effectively it's breathe, brace and take the slack, and then lift. Because in previous lifts, if I breathe, brace and lift without taking the slack, as I take the slack before the bar leaves the ground, I actually lose some of the body stability. So hopefully by doing it this way, we can maintain that stable body, which is going to lead to better form as the weight gets heavier. This will also minimize the bar drift and help to keep that bar as close to the body as possible, and that shortest travel path. So once again, a little bit to take on as far as the lifting goes this week, but I'm up for the challenge, and I really think that it's all going to come together this week. So hopefully I can put all these focus points into practice. Once again, I'll try and get a bunch of footage around these lifts and then come back later in the week and have a recap and break it down. So I'll see you a bit later in the week. So this is the squat portion of the leg workout, and all those focus points that I have been working on the last 4 weeks, I really feel like they did come together in this workout. And as you can see here, the form looks to be quite solid. So 4 sets of 7 at 117.5 kilos wasn't too bad, an estimated RPE of 8. So as per usual, I'll be looking forward to see what the feedback from the coach is. And then to look at the accessory lifts, once again very standard and a great workout there. Onto the bench press. As you can see here, I made a big adjustment in my setup, and the idea here is to help get those feet further back and make that body positioning more pronounced and get up onto my shoulders. Now the 5 sets of 7 at 77.5 kilos, I was really happy that I got all the reps this week, and I really feel like that form is starting to come together. So it'll be interesting to see what the coach thinks about this form.
And then as far as the accessory movements, once again, stronger across the board generally, so a really good chest workout. Once again, incorporating these hip hinging neutral spine exercises to prepare me for the deadlift movement. So onto the deadlifts, 4 sets of 6 at 155 kilos, and I put a major focus on the bracing and taking the slack out of the bar. And as you can see, it's helped to drive those shoulders back and engage more of a neutral spine. So really happy with the way this deadlift workout went. Once again, I incorporated chalk on all sets as we're getting to a weight where my grip starts to fail. But I can't complain. And as far as all the accessory lifts on this back day, once again, stronger across the board. So really looking forward to see what the feedback is on these exercises. And to finish off the week strong with a great shoulder workout, once again, it's not one of the main lifts, but it is a very big accessory day, so it's good to see that I'm continually making progress. Still using that wrist wrap, as that wrist is a little bit of an issue on the military press, but across the board, no complaints on the shoulder workout.
So the lifting portion of the week is out of the way, and as you can see there, I'm really happy with the way that the technical aspects went on the lifts this week. And I really feel like things are starting to come together after I've been implementing all these focuses over the last 4 weeks. Now, in saying that, I still will be really interested to see what the coach has to say about the technical side of the lifts. I mean, at this point, the weight is only going to get heavier, so I really hope that the form is close to where it needs to be and we can just continue to make minor adjustments as that weight and load increases over the next few weeks, and then as we lead into this powerlifting competition. So stay tuned to see what the updates there are. I thought it would be a great time to talk about my body weight. Now, the lightest I weighed in was 84 kilos and the heaviest was over 85 kilos. So due to the heat, these 40-degree days working in the Pilbara, I really feel like hydration plays a major part in what my body weight does. So at this stage, I'd be fairly happy to say that I am about 84.5 kilos. So I want to compete in the 82.5 kilo class, so I do need to lose 2 kilos. Now, a physique update. This photo was prior to my shoulder workout, cold, flexing, but with no pump. So as you can see there, I do have a little bit of body fat that I can trim up, but considering I've been in a calorie surplus for over 12 months now, and at times in a major calorie surplus, I'm really happy that I've been able to maintain somewhat of a physique with very little ease and no hunger. But moving forward, like I said, I need to drop about 2 kilos. So I'm going to make some subtle changes. And this week I'll just be cutting out cheese and cream. So the only dairy I'll have in my keto carnivore approach moving forward will be butter, and that'll probably be on my steak and in my bulletproof coffees. So a lot of people respond quite well from cutting dairy. So it's something that I have toyed with in the past: cut dairy, add dairy, cut dairy, add dairy. It's one of those things. I suppose on a keto diet, it's a lot like nuts. It's quite easy to overconsume dairy and nuts. So I feel like cutting that out from here on should have a positive impact on my body weight. I may also just reduce my portion sizes a little bit, but I won't be getting too strict at this point. I'll just see how my body responds to these little changes. And I mean, I've still got 5 weeks prior to the competition, so it's very easy for me to drop 2 kilos in that 5-week period. So we don't need to do anything too drastic. And as far as the nutrition goes this week, same as last week: instinctive eating, keto carnivore, and very delicious meals every day. So that pretty much wraps up week 4 of the keto powerlifting prep, and I'm really looking forward to week 5 now. I'm really looking forward to the challenges ahead, and hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on next week's episode.